So, you know what? Today, I just thought I'd take a little bit of time and talk about some UFOs. I mean, I don't know if anybody else is paying attention to what's going on. But they just had some hearings um, about the UFO stuff. For those who don't know, there's a gentleman named David who served for 14 years as an intelligence officer in the Air Force. He worked in some intelligence agencies. He's the one that's come out through the new whistle. It's like a new whistleblowers program, I guess. They came out with. I'll give a little bit of backstory for the UFOs has always been a big conspiracy theory. And growing up in the 90s, watching like X-Files and stuff, it was like, always kind of a mainstream thing for a lot of nerd guys like me. So I've always kind of paid attention to UFO stuff. I don't know if UFOs are real. I'm not one of those people that are like really hardcore on either side about it. I'm more of a you would think statistically, like as big as the universe is, like that, to think that we're the only intelligent, I don't know, just to me I feel like there's no way we could be the only intelligent beings out there. But as far as like little green men, I don't know, like I said, I just feel like there's the odds of there being some other type of civilization out there, or with these particular UAV things that they've been talking about. Well, not this particular thing, but the TikTok videos they've been showing of the little I'll try to put it up on the screen of the one with the fighter pilot talked about seeing it. My theory is that it's it's us from the past, because they always talk about like there's a chance there would be more old civilizations. So I think maybe it's just us from the past, and they figured out time travel, and they come to the future to see how great the future is, and they see us how we are now. They're like, what happened? I don't get it. And that's really why they're not talking to us, because they're like, I don't get it. Why are these man apes destroying everything? They come from a very different time zone, or different whatever plane existence, however you were to say it. But anyway, I digress. I go back to this David guy. So when all this stuff started coming out, there was this hurdle, they say, for people to come forward in some of these projects or whatever, because it's most of it's like a security clearance issue or top secret issues and all that stuff. Well, this guy who is somebody who has been on, like I said, he was a intelligence officer, and he works for the different branches of Congress and all that stuff. Where it's just weird that this guy, he testified before Congress, and most of the things he kept saying is, in case anybody didn't watch it, it was saying he kept saying there was information that he couldn't give out unless it was in a non-public forum, because it was classified information. But then some of the crazy stuff he was saying too, like he said flat out that his life was in danger, and it's just weird to me. I don't know. Like, he's the one that came forward a few months ago and said all this stuff about there being programs that Black Ops funded and all this stuff, and which immediate reaction to some people is obviously like, oh, they're faking this. That's all, sorry. Which is kind of funny. All these years of people like UFO chasing, and it used to be the conspiracy theory was the UFOs, and now the conspiracy theory is the government's making UFOs so that we go to this one world order thing. Jiminy crickets. It's so hard to keep up nowadays. But for me, I don't know. Why can there be UFOs? But so this guy testified for Congress, and he basically he didn't say a lot of information. Now, the biggest statement I think that he made that people are taking away from the whole thing is he underscored that he has not personally spotted any UAPs, but he told the panel that he knows of multiple colleagues who were injured, by UPAs. So yeah, he's saying that he hasn't seen any UPA, but there were multiple colleagues that were injured by them. Okay. And then he also said he has interviewed individuals who have recovered non-human biologics from the crashes of these UPAs. I mean, he said that before Congress. I mean, that's kind of wild. So, like, you would think that, I mean, I don't know, I just don't know why this guy would, why would he lie? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you would have to know that if you, you know what I'm saying, like, if you made something up like this, you'd have to know you're going to go for Congress, and, like, they're going to tear you apart. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, which they kind of, like, they tried to, but he kept saying, he had good rebuttals for the whole, I can't tell you here in this public setting, blah, blah, blah. But they asked him if he would be willing to have one of the settings where they're, like, completely closed in. And he said, yeah. And he would give names of people and places. So, who knows what'll come out. I mean, I don't think that, and honestly, what's my biggest takeaway from all this UFO stuff last year or two, whatever it is, ironically, even something like that the world is programmed so much now to fight the opinion of the opposite side of whatever your political view is. Politics? Whatever you say that view is, that you just don't. So, like, if it's the main ideology, like, whatever, I've noticed, whatever, like, so, like, so right now Biden's in office, so it seems like mainstream media and everything's kind of like the left side. So since they're leaning towards it being real, the right side is leaning towards it's fake. Versus before, it was the opposite. You had the left side would lean and make kind of fun of it, and then Republicans, because they were tied into, they're normally, I don't know why, there's a lot of conspiracy ties into Republicans, which is weird. Ironically, because I think at the core base of it all, it's you want what's best for the people. You're wanting a political party to represent you that's, like, more supposed to be for you. All their whatever policies and places. It's funny that it seems to be built more based on nowadays the opposite opinion of whatever the other party is. So this UFO thing, you've got so many people saying it's fake, it's not real, it's just the government's plan to control us with one new world order. So, like, my point, what I was saying earlier, so I think that no matter what happens with this whole UFO thing, there's still going to be people who are going to say that it's fake, or that it's the government control, that the UFOs aren't real. And even if, like, a little blue man or green man, whoever lands in the White House, comes out top, they're going to say it's like Project Blue Beam. And those who don't know what that is, they're saying that it's like holographic images, because I don't know, somebody found some conspiracy was that was the idea of why they were introducing, like, UFOs and stuff into media and movies back when they did, was to eventually they were trying to set up everyone to be more open to an alien invasion. Which, the thing, which is been brought to light mostly through all this stuff with this David is, one of his things he said in testimony was he went to a Black Ops military base to do see what the heck's going on. And the U.S. military was like, no, we won't let you in. He was like, I think he's a congressman. If I get that wrong, whatever. I'm really bad about congressmen, senators, and all that stuff. And they were like, no, we're not going to let you in. And he was like, well, this is crap. And that was one of his points, is that there's all these little Black Ops camps doing everything. And I think that's why it's been such a secret, because you have these little Black Ops, and that's a whole nother level. Like, you have just a regular government, and then when you get into those, side projects where they're getting separate funding and all this stuff, and it's a lot easier, I think, to keep those kind of things secrets, because a lot of the people who are in those projects believe in those projects, or believe that keeping those projects as secret is important. They wouldn't be in that. They don't join the CIA or any of those things because they want to be a gossip Nancy every time they hang out with their friends. They're like, oh, let me tell you what we did. No, they're just one of those people. They're normally people that are driven into those fields. They're not gonna. And this process for those positions, the vetting, imagine. So my point to all that is, it's easier to keep those kind of secrets. A secret as big as we're gonna fake a UFO invasion so that the world thinks there's and that would be so hard to do. Like, you would have to have, what I'm saying? Like, the reason UFOs have been able to be kept secret is because of all different little projects where they keep, this group doesn't know about this group, but so, like, to have a massive scale faked UFO invasion, there's just too many people would be involved. It would, for all those who want to throw up the moon landing. Oh, look, they said, they faked the moon landing. Well, you're talking about if they did. I'm not saying they did fake the moon landing. I'm just saying if they did. You're talking about 15 minutes of, like, footage versus an alien invasion would have to be longer. 15. I mean, I guess in theory, they could project a alien spaceship in the sky, and then, like, have some type of self-bomb or attack and blow it up, and it'd be over in 15 seconds. They'd be, look, we saved the world. Yes, I guess you could do that. And if that happens, that's freaky, because I said it first here. But I just don't see that. I mean, I think that the more realistic answer is the fact that we are not humans. We have taken it for granted for so long that we are the top. We are we're the top of the alpha apex. We're at the top of the evolutionary chain. And if there's one thing that we should have learned from all of studying nature and science and everything that all these big brains have figured out, is we're nowhere near as complex biologically as we like to think we are. We're just a meat suit running around, driven by the desires to eat, reproduce, and be a winner. I mean, most people thrive to either be, that's all just your basic instincts of trying to survive. And that hunter-gatherer, you're gathering your family, you're making your family, you're doing whatever, it's no different than most things in nature, but because we build some shiny buildings and we got some new shiny phones, we think we're so much better than every other creature on the planet. I mean, that's what it comes down to. So if aliens came out, the UFOs come forward, and it requires people to go, oh crap, I'm not the center of the universe? Oh, so these 50 selfies I take on my iPhone don't matter because these other things travel across the universe and a whole nother, you know. I'm not saying that, I mean, but you can still be happy making selfies and there be UFOs and all that good stuff. But I just think that it'll definitely change the way people think about like heaven and all that stuff, which ironically, again, religion is a strong, that's what I'm looking for, drives the Republicans odd. I mean, I know there's some people on the left who say they're, you know, they're religious and all this stuff too, but there's a hard group, and especially I know in the South where I grew up, Republican. I think my air kicked on, so if it's kind of noisy, background noise, I'm sorry. Hard, you know, Republicans that are hard in a lot of Christianity, which ironically, growing up as a kid, you know, growing up in a religious family, I was told dinosaurs weren't real. So, you know, there's still people who don't think dinosaurs are real. So, I mean, there could be, even if there are proof of UFOs, I feel like it's going to be one of those things that people are, there's going to be a large group of people who are going to say it's fake, it's not real. So, whether that's because it puts a dent into their belief system of, you know, how they're raised and generations of believing, you know, and it's kind of wild because it's like if you think back to other civilizations like the Vikings or, you know, any other group of people that had like a god of, you know, with the earlier religions, the same thing happened. There's always something that's kind of like a break that causes them to, we don't believe in our God anymore, you know? Is that getting ready to happen to us as a culture, society? Is that, you know, like, it's going to be wild to think, you know, and could be in less than 10 years, religion could be one of those small groups, or there's these small groups of people that still believe it, you know, especially how there is churches on like every corner, just about, you know, sometimes you can get directions in some towns by churches. Go down the left and turn by the Baptist church, make a right, then go down to the First Methodist church and make a left. Then when you get down to the Nazarene church, you want to make a right, and then you go up to Southern Baptist. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I want to thank the 8 people who subscribed to the channel. Anybody else want to lick like and subscribe. I gotta figure out how to do this talking thing more. Stutter over my words a lot, apparently. So I'll make some more videos, do some other things, talk about some other things, leave some comments what you think. But what do you think the UFO things are going on? What's going on with that, you know? Like I said, my theory is, like I said, what my thought is, it's, which ties into another, I gotta be careful before I turn into that hardcore conspiracy theorist here. But, you know, I believe that we're a lot older, the planet is a lot older, our civilizations are kind of older than we're kind of taught. I feel like, you know, and something happened to that civilization, but I think before that happened, they were able to time travel. They've been coming back, they've been going to what they thought was the future, which is our past, but we have, you know, for whatever reason, once they got wiped out, we never got to their level. And they're really just trying to figure that out. Like, okay, what happened? At what point did things go wrong? That's my theory. Well, no, we'll see. Hopefully you'll see. I mean, hopefully in my lifetime I get a definite yes or no whether there's UFOs or not. That'd be great. If the video cuts off before the 10-minute mark, you know, hopefully you can come follow me on YouTube. You can see the whole video. I'll post some clips on TikTok too, to try to get people to follow us. But that's it for now. We'll come back if there's more information that comes out, or if I find some more highlights of the hearing. Mostly the main key points were the fact that he said that they were non-human bodies and some of the wreckage, and that he felt his life had been threatened, and that he would disclose names and places in a more classified setting. Which, unfortunately, the thing about that is if they do that, then they don't really have to say what he says. So, who knows? We'll see. I mean, it's weird. It's like, basically, they're saying this guy's come out saying they're real, and then we still don't get an answer. Alright. Well, that's it for today. See you guys in a couple days. And just one more thing, just letting you know, the scooter drive is still going on. Put that up there. Anybody wants to donate to the scooter drive, we are currently sitting at $20, I think's in there. Thank you for that. One donation we got so far, and we'll continue to keep you updated on that.